Tell me why, when my mom went to Costco, she was using my dad's Costco card and had his picture on it. And we were about to pay for our stuff at the register, and the cashier goes, oh, who's that guy? And my mom goes, oh, that's my husband. And the guy goes, well, if he's not here, you can't pay for your stuff. And my mom goes, oh, yeah, he's in the bathroom. Me knowing damn well that's a lie. And the guy goes, oh, yeah, okay, we'll wait for him to come back. And my mom goes, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and go get him, okay? And I'm like confused because my dad's not with us. She goes to the bathroom and she comes back with a stranger, an Asian guy who's just a stranger. And I'm looking at her like, what the hell? And she tells the cashier, oh, this is my husband. My mom really went to the restroom, asked a stranger to pretend to be her husband, and the cashier let us pay. And she goes, well, white people can't tell because all Asians look alike to them.
Story time about how I found out that my mom fucked my boyfriend. So a little background information. My mom had me whenever she was 15. So we were always super close because we were so close in age. Well, during my senior year of high school, I started dating this guy. I was 18, he was 20. Well, after dating for a little bit, it was time for me to go off to college. And we didn't want to do long distance, so we kind of just cut it off. And instead of going to college, he just wanted to work, so he stayed in my hometown. And he was pretty close with my mom too, because during my school year, he got kicked out of his parents' house and came and stayed with us for like a month. And we're going to call him Bryce. Well, I get a text from my mother the one day, and she's like, hey, honey, Bryce wants to know if he can come stay here. His parents kicked him out again. And I was like, no, that's weird. Like, we're not even dating. What the fuck? And her response was, well, honey, I'm a good person, so I'm not going to listen to what you say on this one. He's going to come stay with us. And I wasn't even living there at the time, and she was going to let him stay there. Like for part 2. Part 2 about how my mom fucked my boyfriend. So like I said, my mom was trying to be a good person, so she let Bryce stay there. Well, then COVID hit, and my college was basically like, yeah, you guys can't stay here anymore, go somewhere else. So I packed up my things and I went home. And she told Bryce that he couldn't stay there anymore because I didn't feel comfortable with it. As she should. Well, then she started acting really weird. Like, she would leave the house at 2 in the morning and wouldn't come back until like 8 in the fucking morning. And the one night while she was making dinner, I saw a text from Bryce pop up on her phone. So I opened it, and there were no text messages except one from Bryce saying, I won't, don't worry. But I didn't ask her about it because I trusted her. Well, the one night I was going to a party, and I was in charge of bringing the alcohol. Well, on my way to the party, I realized I forgot the alcohol. So I pull up to my house, and I see Bryce's truck outside. So I went around to the window, and in the living room, I could see my mom and Bryce fucking on the couch. I took a video, put it on Facebook, and after that, she was labeled a homewrecker in my small town. After that, I found out they had a whole relationship.
This is a crazy story time of when I used to work at Tilly's, so buckle up. This middle-aged mom walks in the store, right? And she just starts walking around the men's section and literally just grabbing everything she sees. I mean, she's not even looking at the sizes. So we thought that was weird, so we went up and asked her if she needs any help, and of course she said no. Then she decides that she wants to try everything on. So I unlocked a room for her, and then I told her that she can only have 7 at a time, and she literally had a million things, and she just ran in, shut the door, and cut me off. So we started to get suspicious, so I started talking over my little headset thingy and telling the people around the store what's going on. We knocked on the door like 3 times asking if she needed help or needed any other sizes, and of course she just said no again. Then she comes barging out and literally runs to the front door and just leaves. So I walk in to see, and there's literally a bloody tampon on the floor. 2 days later, she comes back to the store.
So my son said he was interested in being a porn star. And unlike most parents, I didn't freak out. I actually schooled him on the business. I told him, you think it's going to be easy, all fun and games, that you're going to be banging chicks, but it's actually a lot more work than that. I said, first you got to keep your eggplant hard on command, and it's going to be a lot of hours during the shoots in between scenes. You're also going to have to learn a lot of dialogue because you're going to be acting. So there's going to be about a bunch of hours that you're going to be filming just for the acting part. Then comes the photo shoot right after the acting. You're going to have to keep your eggplant hard while you're taking these photos with the girl, with your partner, and at the same time, you're going to have to be on there for like at least an hour or two because they need the right pictures, the right settings, and you're going to have a photographer right under your eggplant as well, getting the right shots at the right angles. Then after all that comes the main course, which is the sex part, and you're going to be in front of 20 people, which is the crew, and you got to be on point like Kobe Clutch because you're going to be there for a few hours as well, getting the right angle. After he heard all that, he just got frustrated and said, never mind. And you know what? It's better to educate your kids about it than to...
So in high school, I have these 2 friends named Dan and Joe. That's what we're going to call them for now. We were going into English class and they sat together and I sat in the corner of the classroom by myself. The English teacher was speaking and I could see at the corner of my eye that they are roughhousing with each other like the dudes that they are. At first I looked at them and I was like, they're just dudes. Like, they do this all the time. But then midway as the fucking English teacher was speaking, all I hear is when I tell you everyone's head like turned to them, all I see is Joe like his head was down, he was laughing and all Joe says is, "Miss, I swear it wasn't me, it was him. I don't know why he did that noise." And all Dan said was, "Nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing!" This fool moans in the middle of class and just looks at everybody and just goes back to doing his work. Like,
a few years ago, I got added to a text thread of a group of high school students who were planning their prom day together, and I knew that I should have texted them back and said, "Hey guys, sorry, wrong number." But also they were so entertaining and I couldn't afford Netflix at the time, so I just stayed on the thread. Because what was happening was Brandon didn't want to help pay for the limo, and Kelly said, "Tough nuts, you already committed to helping pay for the limo." And he said, "But I just quit my job." And she was like, "Well, I already put down the deposit on the limo, so you better find a way to Venmo me." And he said, "I told you I don't have the money." And she was like, "Better ask your daddy then." And I was like, "Damn, Kelly." And then Tanisha and Jason broke up like a week before prom, and we all were like, "Oh no, how is this going to affect our group dynamic?" And then they got back together 3 days before, and we were so happy for them. But then it all got ruined because Tanisha texted us the day before prom, and she was like, "Hey, can somebody text Eric and make sure that he gets to the docks at this address at this time tomorrow, because he doesn't seem to be getting these messages for some reason." And the thread went silent, and I wanted to show up to the docks in a formal gown, but I was scared of Kelly.
Okay, quick story time since I still have my makeup on. Let me tell you about this old lady that tried to fight me at Walmart. PSA to this old lady, if you're watching this, you could still get slapped any day. I don't like you and I'm willing to fight still. Waiting for you to try it the second time. Anyways, let's get into it. I was at Walmart with my sister because I go everywhere with my sister. We were just looking for hair accessories. Because you know at Walmart sometimes they have those hidden gem items that you probably never thought would be there, but they're there and it's really cheap. So we go there to look for some cute hair accessories. I would just like to clarify that this old lady was white and I had a blonde wig on. Yeah, this old lady pulls up on us and she's like, one thing about me is I hate when people stare at me. What are you staring at? Do you need help? Yeah, if you want to suck a little pussy, just fight it. Anyways, you know what I mean? Like, it's just mad judgmental. I feel like people are judging me. So I'm like, "Can I help you?" She goes, "Can I touch your hair?" Obviously, I say no because who is this old white lady trying to touch me? Don't know you, don't know where you've been, like, stay away. 6 feet. I don't know what it is about the people that live around me being so bold. I say, "No, you cannot touch my hair," and she reaches her old wrinkly hands. Next thing you know, she's tugging on my hair. Part 2 right now. Story time at the time I dated a married man and his wife walked in on us. Mind you, I am 17, child. I promise it will all make sense at the end, just keep watching. This literally happened in June. I turned 17 in May. I had just turned 17. Which just makes everything worse. Let's just get into it. So at this time, my TikTok page was like plummeting. It was after I exposed my racist school and I started getting all those death threats. I basically had to stay off TikTok for a while and social media in general. So I wasn't really getting a lot of notice from anyone. But one day I noticed that this guy was liking all of my videos. And let me tell you this, man. Fine. This man was extra fine. So I was like, let me go ahead and shoot my shot. Honestly, if anyone were to blow up my notice like that, I'd probably follow them anyway. So I followed him. Worst mistake of my life. The thing though is he only had a profile picture, but he did have a video. In the video, he was using a filter, so his face was covered up, but his hair and his bone structure matched his profile picture. So I was like, okay, this is him. I'm not gonna get catfish. Everything is good. Right? Anyway, so he DMs me on TikTok. He gives me his number. I text him and we start talking. He tells me that he's 19. Wait until you find out his actual age. Part 2? Part 2 of the time I dated a married man and his wife walked in on us. So yeah, he tells me that he's 19. I'm 17, so I was thinking it's only 2 years and we're both at a very mature age. I was like, okay, that's fine. So we start talking more and we click like this. I really thought that I found the one for me. We had the same personality, same humor. We were interested in the same things. I had been single for 17 years, so I was excited. We keep talking and we plan to hang out one day. He said he wanted to take me on a little date or whatever. I was like, free food. Say fucking Liz. So he comes to pick me up and we go out to a restaurant. Everything's good. I go home. Everything's fine. After that, we plan to hang out again and we go on another date. Everything's good. Everything's fine. Get home safely and I think everything's going good. But things start to get a little weird because the more as time went on, the more we would text and the more we would call. He started to randomly hang up when we were on FaceTime, or he would randomly put me on mute, or he would talk really quiet. I would ask him like why he was doing that and he would say, "Oh, my phone is glitching." He being a dumb bitch, I believed it. I was like, you know what? All men aren't trash. Let me give him a chance. We continued to hang out. We hang out like 4 or 5 times until the night his wife came home.
In 9th grade, I was getting on the bus to go home from school when I got a text from my boyfriend saying, "I'm so sorry, everything's gonna be okay." I then got a text from my sister saying, "Don't blame mom, she already blames herself." Super confused, I called my sister. Voicemail. I then tried my mom. Voicemail. I then tried my dad. Voicemail. I was freaking out because I thought one of my grandparents had died and no one was texting me back. I got to the bus stop and my dad is waiting in his car, which is always a bad sign. Going on? I asked. He says Luke is no longer with us. Luke is my childhood dog since I was in 5th grade. I start ugly crying and he proceeds to drive me to my boyfriend's house 10 minutes away in dead silence. I get out, I run upstairs to his room, and I start crying. Luke is dead! Confused, he said, he didn't die, your dad gave him away. So I called my dad screaming and I said, get my dog back right now or I swear to God I will never love you again.